all of you been thinking what I've been thinking?
What
Nope.
have you been thinking?
I've been thinking it's time for another Mark Boersma for Dummies podcast. Now, definitely, I'm not going to say, Elaine and Nora and Anita have asked for it because that's that. If you do something like that, you're probably a pathological liar. like, 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 so, and if you say, like you do things in your sleep. Oh. Like, why am I having this today? I don't know. But I'm like, there was a tipping point moment today, this morning. What was that, Mark? Well, lots of them actually. Like, I had the thought process that, like, I think when something enters somebody's ear, it enters into their brain.
You never considered that it just goes through the ear canal and keeps on traveling?
I haven't. I thought that was just like in like the Saturday, cartoons or something like that we didn't get to watch when we were kids because we were working slaves. Like, like so. Nora, um, what was it on Sunday that impacted you and I so much at church?
I went to church. The pastor said that some people will miss heaven by 18 inches, which is the distance between your head and your heart. And it's not the inches that matters. That's not the moral behind the story. It's the people have all the knowledge in quotations and know their Bible, but they don't have a heart transformation, which is what's gonna keep them out of heaven.
So, Elaine, what do you think about that?
I think that could be a very, very real thing. I mean, I don't know the distance between your head and your heart, but um, just the what's the word for it? Not statistics, but like just to look at it as a without the knowledge of the 18. I mean, yeah, I can see where there's people out there that feel that they know enough or know more and have the potential to lose that chance.
So y'all might be thinking, Mark, this is a podcast for Mark Boersma for Dummies. It's not the PB Church. We'll get around. Be patient. We'll get around to it. So, so, Rosanna, what do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of truth to that a lot of people think they've got it figured out, but they don't act like they've got it figured out.
Anita, what do you think about that?
Sorry, I missed some of that. I was on a phone call. Somebody called me back from a message they had left, so I missed some of that.
Yeah, no worries. Um, so yeah, that was a life changing Sunday service that Nora and I went to. I mean, it's fascinating to me uh, how that Sunday morning service impacted me. It will change my life forever.
How did it change?
It's hard to put into words. Um, Like there's the new song out there, The Mirror. And and so there was a seminar on Friday and Saturday that Luke and Kenny, a bunch of their people went to, and that changed my life forever too. Like it's fascinating to me how I wasn't at church with Nora sitting in the pew next to her. I didn't listen to the sermon, but yet I wonder if that sermon impacted me more than most of the people, at the church. I wasn't at the seminar on Friday or Saturday, but I wonder if that seminar impacted me more than it did the people who attended. So we know when you go to seminars, workshops, events, when you read books or the Bible, you read anything, it seems to me that human nature is to learn things that we don't really that are not good for us and don't learn the things that are good for us. We walk away from a church service, we walk away from an event, we walk away from a podcast, we walk away learning things that don't help us, hurt us, and not learning the things that help us. What do you think about that, Anita?
I don't know. I've walked away from things and people that hurt me and feels kind of lonely sometimes.
Right? Have you ever thought that did you read did you read that article from the woman who was in like when she was 15, 16 years old or whatever, and she was in the Holocaust and her parents got killed? Jewish parents got killed by the Nazis?
Uh,
No.
didn't
And Frank?
No, it was I think I sent it to all of you guys. It was in the Wall Street Journal, and there was a woman that I don't know if she just died or they interviewed her or something for a book or something. I think she just died.
I
And so that she said something about the pain, the pain was the pain was good. Like it was a fascinating. I actually went through like, yeah, so it's yeah, she just passed away. She was 99 years old. And I think I sent you all this. See, she said Egger's revelation, as she wrote later, was that painful experiences aren't a liability, they're a gift. Life is not fair. Life throws you things totally unexpected, and yet you can learn to go through the valley of the shadow of death, but not camp there or set up household there. So it's a phenomenal story. And it's like, people in the past have said, how do you handle what you handle, Mark? And it's like, it's just having perspective. If you just have perspective, but I think people like pain, they love drama. What's fascinating to me is how many people are drama kings or queens and they don't even know it. Like they don't think it's it's wild to me as to how many people I could share story after story after story of people that they have so much drama in their life and they love it. They eat, they drink it, they sleep, they live it. It's part of their very DNA and they don't even know it. Do you know you're a drama queen? No. Do you know you're a drama king? No. It's like, are you kidding? And nobody around them will tell them that. And there's two reasons why people won't tell them that. Anybody know the reasons?
They're drama kings themselves,
Yep. So they don't see
or
it.
they're afraid.
So they don't see it. They don't see because they're just like it. And they're like, well, that's just normal. It's like, is it? Or what was the second
They're
one?
afraid. They're afraid they'll be added to their drama.
Okay. So Luke, he walked away from Fridays and Saturdays. And so he called me on Saturday and he said, I'd like to apologize to you and your family, for, if I've hurt you. Okay. I don't, what does that mean and stuff? And well, words matter. And so if you speak it, it's true. And it's like, that's what he learned. Like, wow. I mean, again, he's 21, so he wasn't born a woman. If you're born a woman, well, you just know if I say something, it's true. I don't have to have data. All I have to do is have a feeling. And if I have a feeling, it's true. And what's fascinating to me is Luke and one other person, and this created a tipping point for me because they went ahead and said that they were interested in helping somebody. And 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 they didn't follow through on it. Does that make them a liar, Nora?
Did they say they were gonna help?
I don't know. They said they wanted to help. Like, how can I help? Yeah. They said, how can I help? I want to help.
I mean, if they wanted to help but didn't, if they said they wanted to help but didn't actually want to help, then yeah. If they asked how they could help but didn't follow through, then no, that's not. I mean, a lie is a lie. That's just not following through.
So if you say you want to help, but you don't help when given the opportunity to help, that's not lying.
Well, then I would question if you actually wanted to help.
Right?
If you had the opportunity but then didn't, like what changed or, like
So you want to know sometimes, well, you want to know, I'm confused. So you want to know the reason why somebody doesn't do something. So if there's a good reason, then they're not lying.
no, sometimes if somebody says like I want to help with this or whatever and then the opportunity presents itself and they don't, maybe something came up to where they couldn't then. So maybe
Right.
they did,
Maybe they got kidnapped, thrown in the trunk, and they like, so yeah, somebody held a gun to their head. Yeah, I get that. That happens quite frequently. So who determines if it's a good reason? Like if you have a good reason for not following through. So there's another person, they said, hey, I want to help. And I said, okay, here's this and this and this. And then it goes back to Elaine and Nora and Anita. Like the three of you guys unleash something like it's crazy. Like you guys said, just rip it off. Anita, have you rethought that position?
No.
Really? Holy cow. So you still recommend for me to do that? See, Anita isn't consciously doing what she's doing right now. Pretty sure. What she's doing is something unconscious. It's it's not, she's not aware. She's not intentionally doing what she's doing. Watch what happens now. Like, I'm not even ripping it off, but watch what happens now. There's certain things that happen. And I've learned these things, as everybody else has too. It's fascinating. So, Nora, the advice that you gave with Anita, with me, and in general, have you rethought that and said, yeah, maybe I didn't consider Mark? Like, the guy's a little different than other people. And, I give him advice to go ahead and be honest and just rip it off, especially with Anita. Like, have you rethought that position, Nora, and said, oh, dang, I maybe wasn't thinking. I maybe didn't know Mark so well.
Yeah, you don't need to rip it off.
Okay. Elaine, have you rethought your position?
Not really.
Why?
I don't know. I just haven't.
Anita, have I given you enough time to think about it?
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what you're ripping the band-aid off. Like,
Right,
I have no clue what even.
right. And so I think what you meant is,
Yeah,
Mark, sometimes I
I don't
want the
know what
Band-Aid.
you're talking about, so I have
Right,
no idea.
right. And as a general rule, you want to know what Band-Aid is going to be ripped off before it does, because otherwise you could be caught off guard. And you don't want to be caught off guard. And so it was conditioned. It's like, well, so do you see how hard you make that for me, Anita, to consider you? And it's really not about Anita. I mean, there's a specific, but it's about Luke, it's about Rosanna, it's about everybody, actually. Like, everybody's in this situation. It's just the degree to which it happens. And so it's fascinating to me how technology often doesn't work when you get into intense situations. Like, I can't hear you. It's cracking, it's crackling up. And so, like, there's a discomfort. There's a discomfort there. So I'm supposed to be honest with Anita, but I'm not. And so I, and so Luke says he wants to help. Other people say, I want to help, but they don't. But they think they do, but they don't. And they don't want to be called out on it. And if they do get called out on it, what they want is they want to have an opportunity to explain themselves as to why, I said I wanted to help, but in these situations, I don't. And so what they do is they train everyone around them to walk on eggshells. And it's just a whole lot easier not to ask. Like, when somebody says, hey, Mark, I want to help, the person wants to feel good, dopamine hit. They want a dopamine hit to say, I want to feel part of the group. I want to feel like I'm a helpful, caring person. I want to feel all those feelings. And the best way to feel it is to go ahead and say it. And so I'm going to talk a lot. So I asked Luke for Saturday, I said, did the guy talk at all about, yeah, no, words, just because you say something is true doesn't make it true. And he's like, no, they didn't. And so, Like, how do you go ahead? Did he say on Sunday, Nora, how to close the gap, the 18-inch gap?
Yeah, have it like don't just say you're a Christian, actually be a Christian. Like
What does that mean, though? Did he explain that? Did he go ahead and say anything along the lines of, you all should be thinking there's people dying and going to hell for crying out loud. Why are you here? Get out and talk to your neighbor. Like, get out of here. Did he?
not
Did he
like that, but yeah, he's like, are we like taking this to our workplaces? Are we living like we're Christians in our everyday life? Are we doing so not like that, but
right.
yeah.
Did he go ahead and bring up the passage where, people were standing before God and they said about getting into heaven and they said, well, we went ahead and taught in your name and we
Yeah, he
did
did.
nice.
He also said while he was crying that he has more of a responsibility. He said he's gonna step on toes and he's not condemning anybody, but if somebody feels condemned, they need to take it to the Lord and um that he needs to preach the truth because there's more when he meets his creator, he's going to be held to a higher standard than the rest of us because he's supposed to be the one teaching us and leading us, and he said all he wants to do is meet his creator and have his creator say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And he said he can't do that if he doesn't preach the truth to us. That won't happen. So,
Right. But he doesn't have access to any one of us. And so, you know, so is he saying that you should go ahead and question all of us? Hey, Mark, are you sure, are you sure you're not like those? I mean, you preach in his name, you talk about Jesus, you go ahead and you don't cast out demons, you don't do miracles. And so is God going to is God going to go ahead and say, depart from me, I never knew you? Like, are you supposed to say that to all of us because he can't?
I don't know necessarily.
Right?
In my way of thinking, I would, if that's something that the spirit would lead me to ask somebody, then I would. But
What do you all think about what Nora just said?
Do you have to be spirit led to do that?
Right? That's a good question. Right? Like, Nora, what do you think, or any of you, especially Rosanna and Anita? If Nora went ahead and approached me and said, Mark, like, I don't know if you're going to heaven. And that means a lot to me, and I don't know if you are. Like, how do you think I would respond to that, Anita?
I actually don't know how you would respond.
Really? Do you have any thoughts?
No, I don't have any thoughts about that.
Rosanna, if Nora were to go ahead and say, Mark, you know, I wonder if you're going to heaven. How do you think I would respond to that, Rosanna?
You would ask why she thought that, and you'd say what gives you that indication. So you would be interested in finding out the truth.
And if she did that to if Nora did that to you, Anita, what would be your response to Nora on that?
I would probably ask her why she thinks I'm not like what what I'm doing to make her think that I'm not going to heaven.
Interesting. Hmm. Anybody have any other questions or thoughts?
How would you respond, Mark?
I'd be excited. I'd say, "Hey, are you a hugger?" I'd be like, "That is just that nobody does that." I mean, that's just. I mean, when Sophia asked me, at, at pickleball in front of everybody, she's like, "Are you a good dad?" Just rips the Band-Aid off. I'm like, "No, I'm not." I mean, you can tell based on when somebody hears something and how fast they respond, how much thought they've given to something. I've given that a lot of thought, a lot of thought, a lot of thought. And so I can respond instantly. And it's not the response she was thinking. It's a totally opposite response. And so if somebody can't respond quickly, one of two things is happening.
Which is?
What are those?
One is they've never had the thought before. It's a foreign language. It's like gibberish. It's like blah, 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 blah. They've never thought about it before. Like it's never crossed my mind before. Like, so it's like they don't even understand what's being said. And so their brain has not gone ahead and ever considered that before. Like, what's 1 + 1? I mean, it's 2. Like, how long does it take you to go ahead and respond to that? There's a couple in our life and a woman. It was just fascinating to me. It's like she waited, Roseanne and I've known them for decades, and any response, she would take forever. It's just weird. Unless, of course, she was upset, and then it was often quick. But even then, the second, so somebody's never thought of that before. They'd never have thought of the thought that the person said. Or the other is they've given it a lot of thought, maybe not on a conscious basis, but on a subconscious basis. And what they're doing is they're trying to figure out how do I get around this? How do I not answer directly? What's this person trying to entrap me in? Like it's like a question, a strategically asked question. You can, like, I'll talk to new people. I mean, I don't know. Will Mike get this one? Mike, if you get this one, this would be a good one for you to get. And so I'll ask people, is there any questions that I shouldn't ask you? And they're like, they're like, well, no, you can ask me any question you want. I mean, I might not answer the question. And when they say that to me, what do? I give this big old grin on my face and said, huh, interesting. Have you ever had somebody that asks such great questions? I mean, they are masterful at asking questions that if you don't answer the question that they're asking, you've answered the question and not answering the question. And they're like, oh, you're one of those. Yeah, I'm one of those. Like it's intentional. It's precise. It's to go deep fast. And so one of two reasons. One is the reason, like when it enters the brain, enters the ear, hits the brain. If people take a long time to respond, it's one of two reasons. In my experience, it's one is they've never even thought of it, which is weird to me. It's like, what do you do with your brain? Like, what do you do with your brain? How can you not know that? How can you not respond quickly to that? Like, wow. or they think you're trying to be sneaky or catch them. And why do people think you're being sneaky and trying to catch them?
Because that's what they do.
That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. So they're projecting themselves onto you. Or they're trying to hide something. Like Nancy Virts, she was fascinating. She said in interviewing, so I think I'm a pretty good interviewer. But she said, when a man or woman comes in and they have a lot of fragrance, like cologne on or perfume on, like a lot. And she said, they're trying to cover something up. I'm like, dang, I never thought of that before. And so yeah, this has been a great Mark Boersma for Dummies. This is like, I wonder, like Beth Smith, my therapist, she says that Mark, I think that God's put within us, all of us, every single person has a therapist built into them. We have our own therapist within us.
What would that therapist look like?
Patrick, he heard a podcast about meta intelligence. And he says meta intelligence is kind of like where you have like your own critic, cynic, your own devil's advocate, your own person that's looking at everything that you're saying and saying, is it true? Is it honest? Is it pure? Is it thoughtful? Like, where am I lying to myself? Like, where am I deceiving myself? Like, and he said on this podcast, it's very unusual intelligence, meta intelligence. It's somebody that's always pushing themselves. It's somebody that's always challenging themselves. And so these are people that don't get defensive because they've thought, yep, I'm sloppy. Yep, I'm lazy. Yep, I'm this, I'm that. So, yep, I suck as a dad. Like, I'm a terrible dad. Like, so somebody's already considered that. Somebody's already always looked at that. So, this is the year of growing, and it's such an amazing year. And it's like, people think they're growing. I don't think they are. Like, I've known this for years. Somebody says I have 20 years of experience. They don't. They have 1 year of experience 20 times over. They've been doing something for 20 years, but they haven't learned. They just and people are stuck. Like on the Friday podcast for Your Voice in My Headset, it's like people are stuck. They have a ceiling they can't get. I don't want you to lose your thought. Go ahead, Elaine.
Could it be kind of like when you lose weight, you don't necessarily lose pounds, but you could lose inches or you could lose ounces? Could it be that you could have growth in a centimeter or whatever, that it wouldn't be very much visible, but you would have growth to a small percentage or a small degree?
I think so, and that's the thing that's fascinating. I think you're absolutely right. I think we can grow and people won't know it. I think people think we grow when we really aren't.
Right. Well, it's kind of, if you take the weight, you can lose fat and gain muscle and grow, and muscle's actually going to weigh more than fat does.
Right. Right. And so if that's true physically, is that true spiritually? Is it true relationally, morally? Is it true in all the LYs, like everything? And so it's like, why don't people want to grow? I think human beings, it's almost like we're wired to be lazy. And we have to fight that. And so, like, if we don't embrace things, like if we don't embrace, if we get defensive, if we explain ourselves, like I've known Mike for, I don't know, 9 days. And, so obviously I like the guy, but yesterday was the first time in 9 days that I went ahead and said, "Oh, why are you telling me that? There's 10 reasons." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Right." I said, "Mark the number of days you've known because people will be impressed." It took 9 days for Mark to ask you that question. So yeah, this has been good. Rosanna, any questions that you have?
Um, what prompted this?
Right? Third one. Third woman today. Third woman. Anita, go ahead and ask me that. Or not.
What prompted the podcast?
Nice. Thank you. Like Nora, she started out this morning and she's like, "So what prompted this?" I'm like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know. My sleep last night. I don't know this or that." I gave her, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 things or something. I don't think she had any more clarity after the fact than she did before. I don't know. And then, Elaine, she went ahead and got an email and she said, "What prompted that?" I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot that's going on inside of here or here, you know, like, I don't know. There's a lot that's going on. Like, there's a lot. It's a lot. And then Rosanna comes up and what prompted it? Like, why something got to prompt it?
We're just trying to find out how your brain wheels work, honey.
Okay. So
We haven't figured it out. Haven't figured it out yet.
my reflex response to that was that I didn't say, because I think about what I say before I say it. I think that's just the thing to say. So should I say it? Should I not say it? You guys are going to say, "Yeah, just say it." I'm like, okay. And so my reflex response that I was going to say, but then I paused and said, "Think about what you're going to say before you say it." And so then I did. And then I'm like, "Well, what would they all say?" And they're all women. So they're going to be curious. "Mark, just say it. Just stop beating around the bush. Just say it." It's like, okay. And it's like, well, Rosanna, you shouldn't be thinking about, how my brain works.
I should be figuring out my own brain.
That's a nice way to put it. I mean,
I'm gonna head out in a couple seconds here. So.
yeah. No, what you should be saying is, why doesn't how does Mark brain work? No, what you should be saying is, why doesn't my brain work? Like, why doesn't my brain work? Does that make sense, Rosanna?
That makes total sense.
I think so. Like, what happened, in that dark room? Like, what happened in that dark room, and what room in the house, I don't want people. So it's fast. It's reflex. It's so interesting to me. Like, it's so interesting to me on how people respond or don't respond. It's just fascinating. It's just so interesting. Um, Anita, any questions or thoughts that you have?
No,
So when you go through a podcast like this, like afterwards, what do you think about?
I don't know. I mean,
Have you ever gone through a
I
podcast?
usually have work to do, so
Gotcha. Yeah. Have you ever gone through a podcast that totally
how,
applied to you and you didn't even realize it applied to you?
I don't know.
Why is she doing this to me? Why does she tease me? It's genetic. Women just do that. They like the trauma, the drama. They like, they want to be awakened, and Mark can do it just in a heartbeat. So there is a podcast once out there. It was actually on driving where you listened to the podcast, didn't realize it applied to you, but it actually did apply to you. And so if it happened in that one situation, Anita, maybe it happens a lot. Maybe there's a whole bunch of things, podcasts, or a lot of things that are happening out there, and you're just like, well, this doesn't apply to me. Actually, it does. Like, it happened once, so it could happen many times. Does that make sense, Anita?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If it happens once, it likely is true a lot. Elaine, anything that you have?
Nothing more.
Nora, anything you have?
No.
So I've known Nora coming up on 12 months here. And not only do I have a photographic auditory memory, but it's like I can actually map out tonality and everything. She's never in going on 12 months. She's never had that type of tonality. Never. Like, it's just fascinating to me. I'm not sure if her ability to come up with new tones is fascinating to me, or if my ability to actually be so sensitive to know, well, that was different than what it is. Oh, quick, Nora, real quick. Um, so if Mike's listening, um, or anybody's listening to this that's thinking about like having me as a friend, what advice would you give other than run for the hills? Um, what, what advice would you give him, Nora?
That pretty much sums it up.
Okay. See, and why? I mean, is that just so they could train for a marathon? Is that what you're saying? Or like, do I train people for marathons? Like, no, seriously. Like, what would you get? What advice would you give them? No, Mark, I am being serious.
Being serious.
Why would you give somebody advice like that?
Probably the same reason that I had like three things I could share and decided to share zero.
And does anybody does anybody know why Nora shared zero? Anybody want to know?
Yeah, why did she not share?
And so she's a woman. So she's very, very competitive. And she's a double analytic. And she's very jealous that I am a triple analytic. And so she thinks about
So
things before
full of
she's
yourself. So full of yourself.
right. Like, right. And one of the things that Nora's looking at, like she's trying to learn, is mirror. So when that hits your brain, Nora, like, what did you come up with yourself when you said, I'm seeing that Mark's full of himself, but I'm working on mirroring myself? When you process that pretty quick to be able to share that. like, how is that coming along on mirroring stuff?
Just peachy.
Okay. And so Nora loves to win an argument. So the analytic don't argue with them, because even when they're wrong, they have enough data to make it look like they're right, you know? And so Nora, I'm not saying she's met her match. I'm not saying that, but there's a pattern that she doesn't share things that come up, which I'm fine with, because I really like for when she feels good about herself. And so when she brings it up, she knows it's not that Mark's old. It's just that he's seen this, been there, done that. He's heard this before. And as soon as I come up with this, he's going to have a response, and I'm not going to like the response. So I'm going to cut that, dragging off, and I'm not going to say it. And then I'm going to come up with a second, but he's going to have a response for that. And what I've learned is that he's so strong that he knows that somebody's like, he knows what I'm going to say before I say it, then he's going to say it, and then I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to get ticked, and I'm going to say, you're twisting what I'm saying, and I'm going to smile and laugh and say, no, I'm just seeing how twisted.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
What was one of the three things I had?
Oh, I don't know. They were just silly girl things.
What I was gonna say, I'll say one.
Okay.
I'll say one. So,
Nice.
Mark, I'm concerned about you not making it to heaven and having the heart knowledge, but not the heart transformation.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that for decades. Like there's a friend, Richard Dix, and there was a celebration of 50 years or something at the church, and we were at something celebrating my mom and dad starting the church, and he was sitting across from me. He was my dad's age, a friend, really close friend of my dad. And I don't know, like we're at church, so obviously we're having deep conversations. Not, but he was there, and I respected him, and he was older, so he's my dad's age, and I said, I don't know. He said something, and I said, yeah, I'm really struggling. Like he asked a question, like, how are you doing, or something. I don't know, an innocent question. I said, I don't know. I'm really struggling. He said, what are you struggling with? I mean, there's all these people in church. So this was, I'm guessing, 20 years ago, maybe longer. And I said, I'm struggling with the passage where narrow is the path. I'm struggling with the passage that it says, work out your salvation. I'm struggling with the passage where the people stay before God and getting in. So I'm struggling. Like, do I think that I'm going to get in? But am I, like, I'm not casting out demons and I'm not doing miracles. And so I'm struggling with that. Any idea what his response was? I mean,
What was his response?
he's a pastor, been a pastor for 50 years. he, like, he did a pastor response. He's like, well, Mark, if you're concerned about that, you're probably fine. Not be that, just make me feel good. So, yeah, I've been thinking about that for a long time. Do you have any further insight on that, Nora?
As far as
I don't know, in big picture for you, for me, any thoughts? And if others need to go, you can.
like you're asking like why I would say that, or
Okay.
is that what you meant?
Well, again, I'm I have multiple. I mean, there's multiple meanings there. So what I meant, like, I'm after the truth, big time, big time. So often people can try to control everything. They're not very good at it, honestly, but they try to control everything and everyone. And so they think, well, that's what Mark's doing too. No, I'm seeking the truth. So you might have a word, you might not even know. I mean, like the Holy Spirit, when we're praying in words that can't be like when you're crying out, like the Holy Spirit translates and speaks to God in words that we can't understand. It's fascinating scripture. Are you familiar with that passage?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There might be something you don't even know. Like the Holy Spirit might be moving through you to say something to me that I had no intention of. So I'm just, it's anything.
I just think that like there's a lot of unforgiveness there.
Yeah, I get that a lot from people. Really, Mark? Uh-huh. I have for years. My mom, she went ahead and, probably 15, 17 years, she said, Mark, people say I'm bitter. Do you think I'm bitter, Mark? I said, no, Mom, I don't perceive that you're bitter. I think you're hurt maybe, and you don't know how. I think you don't know how to process it. So I think a lot of times what people do is people bury stuff. They don't address it. And it's their way of coping. So they don't address the person, they just let it go, and it continues to happen. And so other questions or thoughts, Nora?
Nope.
So what's fascinating is there's a couple people that said that I dismiss things. And I think these two might be the most dismissive people that I've ever met in my life. And they don't like it. They think I flip it. But the reason I flip it because I care and I can. They haven't learned the mere principle. They haven't learned at looking into their own hearts and seeing the heart is deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? They haven't internalized that. They don't understand. They think they're better than other people. So they just dismiss stuff, whatever. So they project that onto me. That happens a lot. I wonder if the more pure one's heart becomes, which is still not better than anybody else. It's just wonder if the more pure one heart get is the more people will project themselves onto you because they don't have the ability to handle it themselves. So do you know that was one of the three? Do you know why you didn't share that? Like right away, like here's a thought. Do you know why you didn't share it?
Yeah.
Elaine and Anita, do you have any ideas why Nora didn't share it?
Maybe thought you'd react a different way.
Nope, I don't think so. Anita, you?
No, I don't have any ideas.
So I think the reason she didn't share it is because she thought I'd probably react in the exact way I did. Not exactly. I mean, it's not word for word, but big picture, because this is how Mark reacts. It's like he doesn't deflect it, but he does. And it's like he's like, there's always a mirror. Like anytime I'm saying something comes back to me, and I have to think about my own life and my own choices and my own heart and everything. It's like it's always, you know, but he's got the advantage on age and experience and wisdom and life. He's got a lot of life, a lot of experiences. So when somebody thinks about something for decades and struggles through it, works through one's salvation, it's not, and so questions, Nora, or thoughts?
Um, I don't think that's not the reason I had in mind. Um, because I think about death every day. So that's something that goes through my mind all the time.
I wasn't talking about death at all.
Well, like going to heaven, like making it to heaven, missing it.
Missing the mark.
Well, it's either you're going to heaven or you're not. So yeah, I think about that daily. Um, but it is what it is.
So why were you thinking you didn't share it?
Because it wouldn't matter.
I'd dismiss it. Is that what you were thinking?
Well, did you respond the way that you had said earlier you would have responded had I asked that question?
No,
So why not?
because you had different energy when you asked it.
But I didn't even
And
ask it.
I'm not a robot. I mean, it's not like I take into account who's asking it, what it is. It's not like one answer, one thing. I mean, that's just silly. That's a silly girl answer. It's a silly girl way of thinking. It's like it's a silly girl. Like I'm going to try to trap. I'm going to try to catch, try to catch him in a mistake. Like I'm going to catch him. That's silly. It's just silly. It's a silly, silly, silly girl response. So, dismissing, are you a pathological liar? That's not dismissed. Shoot, that'll be talked about forever. This will probably be talked about forever. So dismissing something it doesn't matter. It's just, but the opposite is actually true, isn't it? See, I think that's why you don't say things because like it's going to reveal your position and you don't like your position revealed. And I get it, and it's okay. And so I think the mirror and it's so helpful. So this is why I like when Nora responds because it goes deeper. It goes really deep. Now maybe I won't benefit from her doing it, or maybe she won't benefit from it, but I think somebody will benefit from it. I think I do a lot. I don't know if she does. I'm not sure. It seems like maybe sort of is. But I think it's not about her and it's not about me. It's about something far beyond Nora and myself. So that's what, this is what can happen in the Mark Boersma for Dummies. It can go deep really fast. Hopefully this is beneficial to everybody. Thanks. See ya. Bye.